Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to group chat. Everyone's losing their shit.
Lost their mind.
That's what we've learned today.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say. Everything is just crazy. We're talking about income inequality, but at the same time, we're talking about the amount of money that is being invested into retail investing. Yeah. The amount of money that old folks have saved that they're about to pass down. It's impossible to get a house.
Impossible to hire a worker.
But you can walk into Neiman Marcus in San Francisco, grab whatever you want, and just run out the door.
Maybe only in certain sections. There's a limit.
There's a limit. Okay, well, we're going to talk about all that and plenty more. Let's get into some group chat.
All right.
Woo!
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
All right, we're back.
We are back.
What's up, guys?
I'm tired.
I'm kind of tired too, man.
I had a bad night of sleep. And
Why?
for a very funny reason.
What's the reason?
So when I really want, what was it?
Crime.
No.
Someone's robbing outside your window.
Do you have good nights of sleep?
Yeah, a lot.
Interesting.
A lot of good nights of sleep.
More than not. You're a good sleeper.
Yeah, I would say the last couple of weeks with just work and waking up a little earlier than usual, kind of having shitty sleep. But last night, I didn't drink. I just wanted to get to bed early. I went to sleep at 9 o'clock. And if I really, really want a good night of sleep.
It's like right after the sun goes down.
The sun probably was still up.
Okay.
I take this thing called Simply Sleep. It's like a, generic,
melatonin or something?
No, it's kind of like, imagine Tylenol PM without the Tylenol.
Got it.
It's something like that. So I don't even take one whole one. Even they say take 1 to 2 depending on how much. I take a half of one.
Okay.
And it knocks me out.
Okay. You don't feel like drowsy and stuff?
When in the morning, you definitely feel drowsy. That's why I take half.
Okay.
And I wanted a deep sleep. I wanted to get 8, 9.
Catch up.
Hours, yeah, catch up. So I take this thing, and I've been trained my entire life, adult life. I always kept the air conditioner so low in my room. Because I want to sleep cold.
Yeah.
But when you have kids, it's really hard to keep it that cold. Especially with Miles, we don't like to keep it that cold. So our room's warmer than it usually is. Okay. So occasionally I'll sleep with an ice pack.
Where?
What?
Yeah.
Where at?
Literally on my
put
neck.
It on your face?
On my neck. An ice pack.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Can I just ask you a couple quick details because I'm fascinated by this. What's the normal temperature if there's no kids that you would set it to? Like 67?
Yeah, 66, 67.
And then
That's pretty cold. I'm a cold person too. I think 70 is probably perfect.
Yeah.
We're at 71
I'm like a 71 guy.
We're 71 and I'm boiling.
We're 73, 74 with Mav, and I'm not happy about it.
So you're freezing your kids at 71.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm boiling hot.
Okay, so you're boiling hot. So you got ice packs, melatonin, Tylenol PM.
So I'm ready for a deep night of sleep.
Okay.
I kind of, in the middle of the night, wake up a little.
Okay.
I'm like, well, the ice pack is still going. I'm like, it's a little wet. And I was like.
You peed.
So I thought maybe I pissed myself, which I was okay with.
Fine.
Whatever.
It's fine.
No, the ice pack screw was.
Where do you place the ice pack?
On my neck.
Why would you think you peed yourself if it's.
No, because the whole bed is wet.
Oh, it's soaked.
And I literally saw the ice pack top off. All the water had fell.
Oh.
And I wake up and I'm so drowsy because I'm on the Simply Sleep.
And you're drenched.
I'm just like, Haley, I think I opened the ice pack. I'm like, I can't get up. Like, I'm so tired. So she gets me a towel.
Oh, my.
So you ruined her sleep.
So you woke her up.
She didn't sleep.
Oh,
so she didn't sleep from like 2 to 6.
Yep.
I finally fall back asleep. I wake up usually
like surrounded in towels and stuff, or what'd you set up?
I just slept on a big ass towel.
Okay.
And then I woke up, and it's fairly dry at this point.
Yeah.
But I woke up at whatever. I usually wake up like 5:45, and I was like, I got to go back to sleep. And then Dominic rolls up, pulls up.
Yep, pulls up.
Dude, what are you doing?
What time did he pull up?
Right then.
What?
5:45. Daddy. I'm like, what? He's like, is it time to wake up? Every morning he does the same thing. He wakes up 1 hour before he's supposed to wake up.
What if you say no?
So The threat is we now let him sleep we have like a gate and a door.
Yeah.
It's open. We don't even close it. We'd say, as long as you stay in your bed, we won't close this door.
Yeah.
So usually it'd be like, that's the threat. Like, go back to your room and we close the door. And he doesn't want the door closed, so he'll run back.
Got it.
Today I was so drowsy. I was just like, whatever, dude. I didn't even talk to him really. I went into his room and I'm like, it's still time to sleep. I went back into my bed to try to go back to sleep. I turn around, he's right there.
Like a scary movie.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Daddy, is it time to wake up?
Yeah, it's literally time to wake up.
Got it.
So then I try to go back to sleep and then he can't sit still.
Yeah.
So finally we wake up, we went downstairs and started our day. But
Wow.
I highly recommend sleeping with an ice pack. It is an unbelievable experience.
I mean, you didn't make it sound very
I know
appealing.
you.
Just
Yeah,
first of all,
you made it sound miserable.
high risk.
No, but like there's got to be some like inventions in this space where
But
like,
wouldn't you still be wet? Like even if it didn't pop, isn't it still kind of like a wet as it melts?
no,
It's don't you wake up a little
moist.
moist?
No,
No.
it's a pretty good ice pack.
Huh.
I don't think it's for me.
And you just sort of move it around?
Yeah. Usually like I'm boiling upper body, boiling.
You just move it around.
Yeah. So I usually put it there, but then
Why not like a cold? You ever thought about like a
Why don't you
cold
just get
fan?
like a portable AC in your room that
Yeah.
just keeps it
like
a
that's
little
why I have
cooler?
next to my bed. I have like a fan that's on super cold and it just is oscillating, blowing air on me.
I have a humidifier that does the same.
you know what I want? I want an ice cold blanket.
So you need cold.
Yeah. Like I want to go to sleep in a cryo chamber.
All right.
Okay, well,
Good luck.
sorry it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So now you're just a little like drowsy the whole day.
Yeah, I'm just tired now.
Yeah. I just feel like I didn't really drink or anything over the weekend. I just feel sort of like lazy hungover,
Yeah.
you know? Like getting back on like schedule is proving to be difficult.
Well,
Plus a big day of golf. Very athletic.
Yeah,
Very
well
athletic.
done. How'd you do?
I did better.
Were you
hear some
athletic
scores.
or were you actually good?
let's hear some scores.
Here's the problem. And this is
So,
going to sound like
we
I'm
know,
lying.
No
We know everyone
know.
you played with. So you played with Mikey Taylor.
Mikey Taylor, Brian
Atlas.
Atlas, Sean Malto.
Okay.
Okay, here's the real problem. It's going to sound like I'm lying, but this is what happened.
It was windy.
It was windy, and the sun was a little warmer than we thought. I didn't have my ice pack. The way that we did it was it was me and Sean Malto versus Brian and
best
Mikey,
ball.
and we did best
Yeah.
high score, best low score, and so it was about who won the hole. So
Yep.
I didn't. I stopped writing down my scores after like the fifth one. So
But did your twosome beat their twosome?
yes, except for the fact that on the final hole they had there's some move that you can do where like, okay, never mind, the whole game is on this hole, and they happen to win that hole.
That sounds like a
smoked
country club all white man rule.
The Sean Malto, the
lose,
reason
lose,
why-
lose, lose, lose. Last hole, now we win.
Yeah, but we cheated. I mean, Sean Malto, who's a pro skateboarder currently, is really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, and he was just better than Mikey, because Mikey and him are the good ones. Me and Brian are the newbies.
Yeah.
And
How's
he was-
Brian?
He's like me. You know, we're trying to work it out.
Okay.
We had some really good shots that, like, in one moment looked like we were really good,
Yeah.
and then we would just go like tree.
He's been posting a lot of golf content.
Yeah, he's all about it.
If he better be good.
He will be good.
Okay.
With the amount he's practicing. That's what I think too. I think I think next summer you'll see a lot more posts from me.
Yeah.
This
'Cause
summer
if you
I'll keep it a little quiet. If you notice, my
but
post
you're
is like a me
posting and
lining
you
up
have
for the
Tiger
ball.
Woods. I mean, you can't be fronting.
Yeah.
You better be good.
We need a video post, not a
All right.
Yeah,
picture.
that was a still. We
Yeah,
need to see
I
where
can
the
take
ball
that
went.
still.
And here's the spoiler. That was actually the still from a video that I shanked into the bush because that was the only video I had.
I mean, that's among many reasons why I can't golf
Yeah.
is just being bad at something just is miserable.
Oh, it sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, it
it's
really
so
sucks.
and
frustrating.
I just like, do I really want to start something that I'm gonna be so bad
Yeah.
at?
But
for
here's
so
the flip
long?
side. Being bad is so miserable, but seeing the progress feels really good. So every time I go play, it's noticeably better. Like when we first went and played with Mikey and them, it was like embarrassing. It was like, oh, we're letting them play with us and we're going to wait while they get their balls out of the bushes. But now, like, we were actually competing. Okay. Let's talk about the entire other side of the coin than fancy golfing at fancy golf courses in Orange County.
Yeah.
Let's do a little crime check.
Yeah.
So LA, business as usual. Things have pretty much been the same.
Yep.
But San Francisco, I keep seeing clips and stuff of San Francisco where like people are walking into like a CVS and literally loading up a trash bag with items and walking out. And I've even seen one where like a person says to the security guard, like, do we call 911? And he was just sort of like, meh. And like, so what's happening? Like, is that a one-off video, or is it really getting to the point where like they're not prosecuting these petty crimes and so people are just running wild?
Well, now it's kicked up a notch. Today's video that's gone viral is from Neiman Marcus.
Wow. Expensive taste. I mean, I feel like you move up from deodorant.
Yeah, you start with CVS and you're like, it's not that much.
What's going on with this Ralph Lauren though?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what? Someone's loading up a bag?
I mean, there's a video with people stealing. I guess they smashed the glass case in the handbag section.
Oh.
And there's like 6-7 people running out with a few handbags each. And everyone's videotaping. There's traffic on the street. It's insane.
Because it's California law currently that sub $1,000, you pretty much don't get prosecuted.
So if you have 5 people, you all grab 900 worth.
Yeah. Just like, what is that, $650? I'll take that
I'll
back.
take it. And that's obviously middle of the day, stores wide open.
Yeah. And the thing is like that law has been around since 2014. So I don't know what has happened in the last, call it, year that has kicked it up even more. Like the criminals just found out about the 2014.
Reddit boards, I don't know.
I mean,
just word spreads.
Yeah.
It took 7 years.
I think it took a pandemic where everyone's just bored. We're like, wait, you can steal less than $1,000 and not get away with it?
I really think
it's like SPACs. We forgot about SPACs for 20 years.
SPACs have existed forever.
Yeah. SPACs is the legalized
People
version
get bored and they're just like, fuck it.
You know what's funny? What's a little funny is I bet if you looked at the graphs of this type of crime and SPACs, they both probably follow the same line.
I mean, it's basically, they're both crimes.
I saw a stat, July 4th, record number of shootings.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes. In the biggest cities too.
Yes.
I really think that there's an argument for like Donald Trump and then COVID just broke people's brains.
Yeah.
Like I just think it's just like norm doesn't exist anymore. And it's like the biggest boxer, we joke about it, but it's not. Like the biggest boxer in the world is Logan Paul. The blah, blah, blah is blah, blah, blah. Our president was Donald Trump. Like our new president, look, I mean, all good, but like stumbling over words a lot of time. Like it's just like, what is even real? It just sort of feels, I don't even know that it correlates or is exactly like attributed to any one like statistical fact. Like I think we're almost trying to think about it too like intelligently or like data based. I feel like there's this element of like just anything goes right now.
Yeah, that's probably the case because, people want to blame inequality on the crime. I don't know if it's directly that. I feel like it's something else.
It's a combination of all of it. I think it's a combination of lesser punishment, lesser ability to get caught. These people are walking out completely uninterrupted from these stores and prosecution's not happening. So what's their incentive to not do it?
Yeah, so I think I understand that on these types of crimes.
Yeah.
But shootings I don't get. They are prosecuting. If you kill people, you go to jail for life.
I agree with that. I also think the long-term tail that we're going to see from the lockdowns and the pandemic are just starting.
Mm-hmm.
Like people have lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know personally people who have lost it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's...
I think it's really tough to actually quantify the long-term damage of the last 15 months because I think it's so severe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
I don't even think we can look at it anymore as damage. Like I think we have to just look at it as like an altered course.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's so severe. I don't think it's damage that you should even look at as like repairable.
Yeah.
Like I think it literally changed the course. Like there's like a new norm that you have to try to like clean up.
So the Clipper game that we went to, a week and a half ago, there was a fight in the stands. We saw the rumblings. And
I saw the video.
And then we all
saw the video.
Clipper violence, right?
Yeah, it was Clipper on Clipper violence, but there's no security. Because they're like, we're not dealing with this.
Yeah.
That's the other question. Like where the fuck is like the basic stuff? You're not telling me that you're going to like, the Clippers are going to be like, hey, things have been a little rowdy lately. People haven't been out in a while. We're going to increase security by 30%. Instead, there's less.
So, I mean,
anyone who's been a Staples Center, there's people everywhere. Security, ushers, they just didn't want to do it. I'll tell you a great story. 5:30 p.m. I'm walking down near my place. Don't want to name the venue. I hear screaming and yelling. I look, full-on brawl.
By your house,
Yes.
which is a nice area.
A lot of fighting.
Fighting's hot. You know what's funny is I remember saying like 2 years ago, no one fights anymore.
Yeah.
Like you would go out at
used to
night.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to clubs,
Yeah.
you'll be wasted. No one's
Pussies.
fighting. It's back.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I also am realizing is how fragile most people are. And now that, after the pandemic, we're around all types of people, right? Like various different lifestyles and ages and socioeconomic backgrounds. And it's this kind of impact on people's kind of ability to just be normal throughout society has impacted all levels, right? Like the wealthiest, poorest, doesn't matter. Everyone was affected. What I didn't realize is that like so many people are pretty fragile just in
What do you mean
general.
fragile? Like just like
Mentally fragile.
Mentally
So
fragile.
I can actually extrapolate something. Pastor Jeff, after the pod, we went to lunch.
Yeah.
He told me he lives in New York City.
Do you call him pastor?
No, just
Okay.
from the episode.
Yeah.
Call him
Okay.
Jeff.
Okay.
I want to give him the respect.
I know.
he
I
deserves.
just don't know how do you
Pastor
address
Jeff.
a pastor?
Yep.
He's my friend.
Pastor
Call him
Jeff.
Jeff.
Okay.
He was saying in New York City, because he was talking about, if he's going to be in New York long term or if he wants to move back here, whatnot. And he was saying it doesn't matter how rich or poor you are in New York City, everyone's 6 months away from going broke. Because everyone's just like maxed to the leverage.
Yeah.
If you're a rich guy, you're at your kids are going to the fanciest private schools and whatnot,
Yeah.
and like you're just maxed. And then even if you don't have a lot of money, you're like overspending for the studio just to be in New York City.
yeah, yeah.
And that kind of makes me think
Yeah.
about mentally how people were pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And the pandemic was like everyone's 6 months away from losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw it. Everyone lost it.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. I guess learning to fight is like maybe it's good that boxing's hot.
Yeah, because in the Armageddon, you're gonna need those physical skills.
I mean, I literally had a thought the other day. It might be kind of embarrassing. Maybe I lost it.
Yeah.
Of like, I want to go take. Have you ever seen on social media, like you'll see like Kevin Hart and
Self-defense?
stuff doing like the shooting range, but it's like the timed.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing,
Tactical.
bing, whatever. I was like, I think I want to take some courses like that.
We have friends texting
Yeah.
privately.
Yeah.
They're trying to get trained tactically as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
I own a
these
gun.
are old people,
Yeah.
not like
Because I own a gun, but I was just thinking, like, I don't know. I mean, don't you want to be sharp if something actually went down? Someone breaks into your house, you want to bing, 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 bing around the corner? I'm not trained.
You know what the problem
Did I
with
lose
that
it?
is?
Am I losing
Yeah,
it?
you're losing.
You are losing it.
Because the data is like really against you. Because even NYPD trained officers
Yeah.
are in like the single digit, or they're in the teens of accuracy.
Yeah, but so what am I right now, today?
0.
0. I'm just,
So you
Shoot
would
the
have to be trained as a cop to even get into the teens. Is it worth getting in the teens?
I'm just saying
That
if I
means
could.
over 80% chance.
But if
you're
I go
gonna
from a
shoot-
1%
you're gonna
to a
shoot
3%,
Corinne instead of the murderer.
the other thing I think people
So
don't.
we actually just get rid of the gun altogether.
yeah, that might be.
That's what we're getting at. Got it.
Yeah, because
I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, the other issue is that people don't realize, some of it has to be like self-awareness of, okay, there's obviously tons of unfortunate incidents that happen everywhere, but you also need to be self-aware, like, should I be at this place at this time? Like, frankly, coming home July 4th, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
On the drive home because it's late night, everyone's drinking and driving, and I always have that concern on these long weekends. But even then, I was like, "Thank God, there's traffic."
But that's the problem is
happily
that-
sit in traffic.
That like goalpost has moved.
Yeah,
That's the problem. There's areas that used to be totally safe
yeah,
that are now aren't. And so it's
Yeah.
hard to like, there's places where we've heard of people getting robbed and shot at and all that stuff that like you never would have even thought
yeah.
it was in danger.
We one of our crime clips on TikTok got a lot of views and comments, and everyone's like, "Oh, there was always crime in LA. You guys never noticed it, or whatever." And I was like, "No, there wasn't crime in
Yeah.
our neighborhood."
Yeah, that's just a stupid comment.
Yeah,
That's just very stupid.
incorrect.
Yeah.
This data shows there's a surge in crime
Yeah.
in these areas that we never seen
That's
before.
just someone who probably doesn't even live here who's like, LA's always.
No,
been
he's like,
dangerous."
I grew
I
up
listen
in
to
LA
Snoop
too.
Dogg.
I'm like,
No,
well,
but everyone
Shut
wants
up.
to like
And they're twice as dumb.
Yeah.
the counter. They just want to say the
Yeah.
counter.
Okay, well, good try. And you missed. Next thing to be scared of, COVID's back. Vaccines don't matter.
Yeah.
It's called Delta, not to be confused with the airline.
Or the Indian Delta, as some publications are now conveniently re-entering.
They're adding the
In
Indian.
Daily Mail, when I was reading an article today, it said the Indian Delta virus.
Looks like somebody has a bit of a vendetta.
Yes.
Okay, well, the Delta, I will not throw my Indian brothers and sisters under the bus, is here. I mean, it's just raging through LA. I heard vaccines don't even matter.
Wow.
I saw a post the other day that said, back to masks indoors.
Nice.
We're back to square one.
Great.
Shut it down. Stop all the fighting. Stop the shooting. Back in the house.
Yes.
And guess what we're doing this weekend? We're going to fucking Vegas.
We're going to Vegas! Oh my, on full flights.
Yeah.
Delta Airlines.
Yeah, literally, I'm on Delta.
I'm on Delta too.
Yeah, just taunting.
In support of the variant.
That's like drinking a Corona. I might order a Corona on Delta Airlines.
Can you even order a drink?
Of course.
Yeah. So what's up?
So,
This is fear porn.
Okay, wait.
It is?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm not even going to tolerate a discussion other than that.
Okay, so
I'm going to discuss it.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you the one anecdotal thing. I was with a friend of mine this weekend,
Okay.
and put the vaccine aside for a second. There are people getting COVID again. 100%.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, obviously Chris Paul. But there are people that are out and about that never got vaccinated that are getting COVID again.
But the key word there was never got vaccinated.
Yeah, never got vaccinated.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that a shit ton of people probably have gotten it, probably mild symptoms. No one's testing anymore. Like, unless you have to get tested for a travel or for your work, you're not going. Like, the amount of times that I would just go and get tested last year.
Oh, yeah.
I would just go and be like, I should get tested.
I mean, it's already to the point where people are getting sick.
Yeah.
And they're like, I mean, I'm not going to get tested.
Yeah, like I had a runny nose 2 weeks ago.
Variant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a runny
Delta.
nose.
So
is a
there
symptoms
are
of variant.
cases. Here's what we need to actually accept.
Yeah.
There are going to be people who are vaccinated that contract COVID. It's a 95% effective vaccine. It's not 100%.
Well,
The flu vaccine is 60 to 65% effective.
Yeah.
So it's 30 to 35% more effective to have the COVID vaccine from Moderna and Pfizer.
Yeah.
Israel's data isn't large enough of a sample size for it to be relevant. I know
What'd
there's
they
this.
say, though?
well, they're saying Pfizer is only effective 64%.
But their hospitalizations are literally at the exact same rate. So I think
You could still get it. It's not the point.
So I think the COVID vaccine from Moderna and Pfizer is 95%. All the data shows it's 95% against the variant, against the SARS-2, whatever the longer
SARS-CoV-2.
Yeah.
But my point is, we have to stop. If you, here's the big if. If you are vaccinated, COVID is not a bad word.
What if you're not?
It's a bad word.
What about Delta?
If you're not vaccinated and you're obese, it could get pretty troubling for you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But those are like two big variables. And I don't think if you are vaccinated, you're at much risk. The hospitalizations aren't increasing. The hospitals don't even, I mean, I've talked to doctors at the hospital. They say we have 0 COVID patients.
So worst case, you think like the Delta sneaks through.
And it's going to ravage through the unvaccinated
But
population.
even us, let's just say we go to Vegas this weekend.
We're
Delta
fine.
is hot to trot. In
Delta is.
We're going to test that vaccine. this weekend.
We were at Staples Center, 16,000 people.
Yeah. Okay, so but the point is this. So
And
worst case scenario,
we
you
didn't get
actually
sick?
get it. Most likely, we just have a little
Correct.
little cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not going to the hospital.
Cool.
Whereas if you are
I'm in.
unvaccinated and you are obese and you get the Delta variant, it could get pretty bad for you. Or if you're
Sounds
old.
like I'm in the money.
So I think the good news is between the Delta and now how many people are vaccinated, basically a big chunk of the population should have antibodies.
But the problem is all the people that got COVID last summer that aren't getting the vaccine, which is like a lot of people, don't have the antibodies anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Time for round 2.
And
Yeah,
we're
anti-vaxxers.
not even at, what are we at? 60% by October is what they're saying?
Vaccinated?
Yeah. Because it's just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, I mean, whoever got it, got it. It's it. So they should just send those vaccines packing.
They're actually saying if you got, I saw some people saying if you got J&J, you should just go get Moderna as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just talking about stacking them.
Stacking them. We'll get a booster by the fall. That's my guess.
I just feel like the worst thing that's all facts aside is I've already seen it like happening is that this thing is like stoking that fear in people that are like PTSD'd from the last year.
Yeah.
And all they need is one little sign that maybe danger is still out there and they're like freaking out. Like LA putting out a thing that like it's strongly recommended you wear masks indoors again is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like where's the data? Where's the official? Give me an official rule or
data points
or nothing. Don't insinuate because now you have all these people that are so scared trying to get back out there into the world and it just send them right back inside.
I'll tell you what happened to me the other day. So I didn't know what the rule was on Uber and Lyft. I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, I walk into a Lyft. It's at night. I had my mask on my chin. I hadn't worn it yet. And he's like, whatever. We start driving. He's like, can you put your mask on? I'm like, do I have to put my mask on?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yes. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I then get a warning from Lyft.
No way.
Yeah, that you were breaking health code violations. That guy reported me, that fucking cocksucker.
Is this from Malibu?
What? No, this is from Delilah, which is a half mile from my house.
What a little snitch.
Yes.
See, that's the problem though.
And then
Is that poor guy is scared to death because LA puts out a...
Yeah, and then I went to, we went to Malibu the other day and we took an Uber and I asked the guy before I even stepped in, do I got to wear a mask in here? Because I was like, this is a long ass drive.
Yeah.
And I just want to listen to music and not like, and he's like, no, you don't have to. He's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see what happens. But I hate that. I think it's going to end up being nothing
Yeah.
in the end.
I agree.
And I think that what's going to happen is we're going to waste a lot of time and give a lot of people unneeded anxiety.
Yeah.
And
I talk to young people all the time. You know, I just 75% of young people don't give a shit.
young people don't give a shit.
But then I do run into people that are like still very cautious. They're like, oh, you're going out? You're going
the
to
data is pretty clear for under 60. If you don't have comorbidity, so over 60, you have to be like cognizant of all these different variants and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Under 60, it's clear obesity or not.
Yeah.
That was honestly the one data point that everyone pointed to. They were the ones who got the most sick, had to get hospitalized.
Perfect segue. Grand Running Club, 5K, 10K, half marathon, July 24th. Head over to grandrunningclub.com.
Yep.
Use the code, what's our code? I think GRC Run. Get 25% off.
I would say it's the next best thing to a vaccine.
Vaccine.
Get out and run.
Yeah, be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Rogan always said that during the whole pandemic. Why aren't we telling people to exercise and get
Because we
healthy?
never, as a country, talk about preventive medicine.
We don't talk about, it's so crazy. The fact that if you look at how many people are obese in this country and the fact that we never talk about it, to me, it's almost as negligent as like the way we treated COVID and how many people died. It's like, here is a sickness.
You know what's better than a mask? Losing 50 pounds.
Yeah. But I think even on some platforms, like even what we just said is like controversial. Like people will try to cancel you for that.
I obviously because now I'm back out and about, and even I only go to like 4 places in my little bubble, but I go to the beach a lot. Like this weekend I went 3 times
To run or with Dom?
to run, Dom, whatever, right? So, and then that's when I get to see the rest of the people.
Yes. The others.
The others.
Outside of the bubble.
Outside the bubble. Yeah. And yes, there is an obesity problem. I don't notice
and you're
that.
in what, Santa Monica?
Yeah.
There's a lot of other beaches you could go to that Santa Monica to the rest, or to at least like the entire middle of the country is like the best looking people on earth.
At the Nobu party, I was probably the fattest person.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the heaviest person.
I was definitely, what did you say? Yeah. Was there anyone fatter than me there?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. You might have been the heaviest person in that place.
Maybe a security guard.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure Drake security had.
Okay, but he's like built like a tank. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I agree. But it's just so wild
I'm in the background of like a lot of celebrities' pictures. And I'm like, I look kind of fat compared to like G-Eazy. He's a skinny guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I just think it's wild that we don't address that as a problem.
No.
even though it's like literally
you
killing
know,
people.
and I don't want to get canceled, but we've also changed the narrative of body acceptance.
Yep.
So I'm okay with body acceptance, but that doesn't mean you're healthy.
Well, yeah. I think that there's a fine line between like you just have a naturally bigger body, which does exist.
Yeah, which
and
is
you can
fine.
be healthy. Okay, moving on. We talked about Didi yesterday and how it would probably affect their stock price. What happened? Here we are, back to business.
25% tumble.
That'll
Today.
do it. Yeah.
A lot of Chinese stocks got cratered today. So when we recorded the episode yesterday, Didi was worth 75 billion. I think today it's worth 59 billion.
54.
Oh wow, it went down even more.
And that was because, just in case anyone missed yesterday, that was because China halted new downloads of the app for Didi, which is like their Uber in China.
Yes.
And I think it just shows how fragile doing business in other countries are. And it's not, so China did it to Didi, but like in India, they banned all those Chinese companies as like a retaliation also. In this like global economy, for these bigger players, for smaller players, it's probably irrelevant, but these bigger players are at the mercy of governments. All of these big tech companies, take even Didi in China, they have all the big tech are fighting European countries because they're the most strictest on data privacy. They're also fighting all American government. They're fighting Asian governments. They're fighting South American governments. I don't know how this plays out. It's pretty crazy.
What do you think? Like, just because I'm trying to honestly wrap my head around it, like, why doesn't the next Jack Ma come here to start a business? As opposed when they see
opportunity is in China though.
Got it.
Like think about, you're talking about 1 billion people in China.
Yeah.
Like
that,
1.4 billion.
1 billion and like billion middle class, smartphones, the technology, the engineering. It's a way better opportunity.
Don't you think they see how this plays out and they're like, well, shit,
I think now
if I
they
make
will,
it.
because this started in 2018.
Got it. So it's too recent.
So you're talking last 3 years where the government realized how much power Chinese tech had, and they realized they had no handle over it. So they started sidelining all the CEOs. It started with Tencent, then it started with Jack Ma. They stopped an IPO and financial that's going to be now haircut a valuation by 60%. And now they just cratered Didi by 20 billion. They sidelined the CEO of Pinduoduo, sidelined the CEO of ByteDance. They are just basically like, hey, Chinese entrepreneurs, if you don't play ball, it's over.
Yeah. That's why I wonder, like, do they start coming here, or like, are they so loyal to the country that they ultimately you want to create something great for the country?
This market's too crowded.
I don't even know if it's loyalty. It's like there's a process to get to the U.S. and get citizenship to be able to
raise money.
That. It's like there's hurdles. Like we have cousins in San Francisco that work for Amazon and Apple that were born and raised in India on some sort of work visa, and I asked them, I was like, how long would it take you to become a U.S. citizen? And they said 80 years. And I said, what? And they weren't being like facetious.
Damn.
Luckily, they're healthy.
Doesn't matter how healthy you are, but to start a business, like.
Luckily, they could make it to 110. Okay.
It's actually just like actually not even feasible to become a U.S. citizen and leave.
Yeah, it's just.
You'd have to marry someone here.
It's just so dramatic to me. I wonder what look, we saw one-child policy, right? That didn't work out. And now there's like severe immediate consequences or danger in the way. It just feels to me like there's long-term danger to acting this boldly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't.
Especially with ByteDance. That's the one that's actually shocking because it's the first time a Chinese company
Infiltrated
U.S. culture with TikTok. First time. That's never happened before.
First time anybody
anywhere around the world. What European company has come here from a technology perspective?
There's been one band, BTS. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
One band, and they're Korean.
Yeah.
And they just sideline the CEO because they're just like, I'm curious how it plays out from just China in general because it feels like everything the government's done has advanced the country in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Is this what
is their downfall?
Yeah. Does this change the the tide. I
I
don't
just
know.
wonder. It's never worked in history.
Yeah.
You know, you've never been able to be that heavy-handed without people revolting.
Yeah.
Or you have to get so heavy-handed. I mean, that still doesn't work. But the point is, like, at this point, you have to keep doubling down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't loosen up.
No. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'll be on TikTok. What's going on with? I also saw we had a story about just the power of retail investing and the amount of cash going into the market via retail investors.
Yeah.
I saw it. Let me just say, driving down the 101 the other day on my way to go golf, on the highways, there's always those signs on the overpasses. Sometimes they say like, fuck ICE. Sometimes they say, fuck Trump, you know, whatever.
Oh, like graffiti.
They'll take like signs and sort of, maybe zip tie them to the fence on the edge of the overpass.
Yep.
And yesterday I drove under an underpass that had multiple signs about, it's literally said AMC stock equals smiley face.
No way.
AMC something dollar signs, all AMC love. So it just shows you the power of this retail
That's
trader.
crazy.
How's it looking? Does it actually make an impact? Is it actually meaningful, or is it really nothing in comparison?
In the month of June, individual investors plowed a record net $28 billion into the U.S. stock market. This is individual retail investors. So this usually goes to like exchange traded funds, ETFs, or individual stocks. I mean, that's meaningful amount of money. I mean, what are there, 20 trading days in the year? So that's like almost 1.5. Yeah, in a month.
Yeah.
$1.5 billion a day that's just going into, and they're going into like these big cap stocks, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just shows how much cash is sitting in Americans' bank accounts. 28 billion, just casually.
That's just wild.
It's wild, and I think this is another not consequence. I don't know if consequence is the right word, but a result of the pandemic is that everyone was sitting at home, and the only thing that was positive was the U.S. stock market.
Yeah.
Everything else in the news was negative.
Then you couldn't bet on sports, like you guys said.
Right. You couldn't bet on sports. So everyone became somewhat financially aware that this game exists.
Yeah.
Because the restaurants that I go to where I know like the busboys and servers, everyone's in the stock market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every single person.
Yep.
It is like probably harder to find someone that's not either in Doge or have a
US
Robin
equities.
account,
Yeah.
Robinhood account or a stock market than it is to not. And that is a phenomenon over the last 12 to 18 months.
Which I have to believe that's just wildly like positive.
Yeah. The problem is the options.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another piece in
That's for
here on the volume of option trading in June and July. Insane. It's just like, I think June was like, they called it trades for 10 contracts or fewer. I mean, it's literally like 2x higher than any other time in the last
Do you think
few years.
under 35 in the United States, exposure to either Doge, Cumcoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name your coin,
Plus options.
plus any stock that they had zero exposure pre-pandemic.
Yep.
What is it, 90%?
I don't know.
90% of people under 35 have, whether it's $100, $50, $1,000.
I don't think it's 90.
No.
I think it's way
people that are
lower,
still-
but I think that it's up substantially.
Do you know? All right, let's talk to the youth here. Tim and Garrett. Do you know anyone that has zero exposure to stocks or crypto?
I think in my fraternity, there's probably 2 kids
Out of?
Out of
30 living in.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's 90%.
That's not, that checks out.
Like peak pandemic, everyone was talking about it every day. When Doge had that spike, everyone hopped in. Everyone was putting money down, trying to get in as soon as possible.
And they're still in it?
Yeah, a good chunk. Some of them sold. I have
But
a friend
my
who
point is
made-
they had an exposure
Yeah.
over the last 12 months.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Here's the other question. I know this is, we'd have to completely guess. Where is that money coming from? Like,
So-
where did it used to go? That's what I mean.
Garrett, you tell us.
Yeah, like is that like night, like the bar?
Yeah, pretty much. Take a night off. Don't go to the 9-0 near SC. Put it into Doge.
Put $50 in the Doge.
But look, I think that that's like wildly positive.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the options. I know you're going to have like the crazy people who are going to turn it into gambling, and that's probably a lot of people, and that's very scary. But like, if you think about like 4 more vodka crayons or gambling on, you know what I mean? Like you might as well gamble on some Doge or an option.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I think, kind of transitioning to the next article, in the Wall Street Journal, they said at the end of this year's first quarter, Americans age 70 and above had a net worth of nearly $35 trillion. That amounts to 27% of all U.S. wealth. Their wealth is equal to 157% of the U.S. GDP. And that money is now going to get transferred.
And that's their wealth. That's their savings, their homes.
401ks, retirement plans.
So that's all going to Doge.
That's all going to a bunch of kids who are probably going to dump it in Doge.
I mean, that has to go right to everything we just talked about.
A stat from Robinhood's S1, 17% of their revenue was crypto. 34% of that crypto revenue was Dogecoin.
Wow.
That was on what? Robinhood?
Yeah.
But they don't charge for trades. So how are they making money? Are they selling Doge trade flow?
Probably.
Who knows what type of shady shit, because you're not even owning the Doge.
Yeah.
Who knows? You could bake in a little margin there somewhere, you're making a killing.
Wow.
I have to believe that money, you can't buy a house, Blackstone owns it.
Right.
So you're putting it all into the stock market, I feel like.
The stat is that between 2018 and 2042, $70 trillion will be passed down. 61 trillion they believe will go to heirs, which will be millennials and Gen Xers, and the 9 trillion they think will go to philanthropy.
My question is this: how does this affect the fact that in the normal cycle we're so long overdue for a correction?
Right. I mean, with 70 trillion, we're not going to see one.
It's just going to be
inflation. Now this is a new world where there's all this new money in there. You're not going to see that crash. So what happens? Does this just sustain it for another 5 years, and then you have like a mega one?
Well, there's too much. You're talking $70 trillion over the next 25 years. Okay, I'll tell you what won't get affected, at least in the big cities. Real estate's not going to get affected with $70 trillion coming down.
And there's a finite number of hard assets to even buy.
Yeah. So real estate is fine.
I mean, we have a friend visiting LA next week. He said the Waldorf in Beverly Hills is $3,000 a night.
For like a kind of
regular room. That is an unimaginable amount of money for a Los Angeles hotel room.
Yeah.
But you could get shot at valet.
That's priceless.
One bullet at the Waldorf, priceless.
Inflation is so here and so crazy that, I told Brian and John, double every item on your menu right now.
Yeah, you might as well.
Who's going to say no?
No one looks at the price.
Not at their places.
No. I don't know how much. We were asking how much this costs, how much that costs.
Yeah, he said chicken parm, double it.
Yeah.
Double it. That's a good chicken parm. It's a good chicken parm.
Yeah.
It's worth double.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like in this climate, you double the price of your chicken parm, people are like, damn, this is some luxury chicken parm.
Yeah. Especially
they might post it more.
You might get more buys.
Yeah. Because you want to buy $100
I got that
chicken.
luxury chicken.
I know what's my guy's name with the salt?
Salt Bay.
Salt Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone says if you want the full Salt Bay sprinkle.
Oh, you got to order the
it's thousands of dollars.
No, average check size, I think, is $1,000 a table, and they're turning hundreds of tables a day.
Because I think that's where they get you, is if you order the $1,000 tomahawk, salty comes out.
Yeah.
And now there's
if you're going there, you got to spend
now there's clone salties. I see people posting not even the guy.
Well, that's probably 500.
That's the model. If you open up a restaurant today, I feel like you got to find your salt. What's your thing that people are going to want to post that they were there that could go viral, and then you just charge a crazy amount for that item. That's brilliant. I saw Delilah, is it Delilah Vegas has some ice cream you pour and it melts. And did you see that?
Yeah.
Have some character bring that out, and that's $2,000.
And just make sure they have a mask on so you can replicate it.
Yeah,
like marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Fuck. Brian, seriously.
Yeah, that's the key.
Just have the mask guy. He's the expensive guy.
Yeah, he comes out dancing.
Yep.
So you can have a mask guy in every venue.
Who was it? Deadmau5 did that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daft Punk?
Yeah.
They probably haven't done a show for
20 years.
decades.
How many gigs do you think Marshmallow .com actually showed up? 50%?
I mean, I would love to. I wish they would do like a documentary about like, look what we really did.
The guys just eating
And like,
Cheetos.
yeah, .com's just on an island. Oh my God. Okay.
Speaking of inflation,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
people obviously are having a hard time hiring people. So now they're offering incentives. Like people like Domino's are giving a $500 signing bonus. A lot of retailers and folks are offering $1,000 signing bonus.
I heard there was like McDonald's, I forget what it is now, but there was like $100 if you come in and complete the interview or like something like wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really, really struggling with. Let me give you the exact number here on who's offering what. But the idea is pretty much to incentivize people, one, to refer people within companies, and really where America is struggling is low wage workers.
Yeah.
And finding a way to attract those people.
Yeah.
So they're offering these like flashy signing bonuses of $1,000 or $500 because that's meaningful for a low wage worker. What they're not doing is raising their wages, because if they do it to these people, then if you employ 500,000 people,
You got to go up the chain.
yeah, then you got to raise everyone's wages. So they're in a big dilemma. Like they have to probably raise prices across their businesses.
They should just pay in Doge. Same amount, but we'll pay you in Dogecoin.
Yeah, people might take it.
Yeah.
But I think the real answer is everyone wants higher wages because everyone complains about it. Okay, fine. Let's assume conceptually companies are okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do immediately is raise prices for whatever service they have.
Yep.
And so that's going to have an impact on their top line.
Yep.
The consumer, especially in places like McDonald's, if something at McDonald's goes from $2 to $3, it's pretty fucking meaningful.
Yeah.
That's a 50%.
Especially if that's, I feel like a lot of those people, like you're grabbing that every day.
Yeah.
It's worked into your schedule.
Yeah. So I think everyone wants higher wages. I'm not going back to work unless I get paid. Cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to be okay if the Starbucks coffee is $11?
Yeah.
Because that's where we're heading.
They're going to make it cheaper?
But
I heard a hot take
Okay.
from the manager at my local spot, and he can't hire dishwashers.
Okay.
And then I was asking him, like, because we're fairly close now, and I was like, candidly, like, undocumented workers don't get these unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
So why aren't they showing up to work?
Yeah.
And he says they're getting it from their kids. The enhanced unemployment benefits. And that covers the family, so they're not showing up.
But that ends.
That's
September.
in September.
Yeah.
So
I feel
it's
like it could be
September.
all out war when that ends. I really feel like it has now gotten to the point where that income is just sort of expected.
Yeah.
Oh, and like once you get used to that, if that's then taken from you,
Mhm.
that feels scary.
If you took the 6 months off not being a dishwasher or a busser, and then 6 months later you're going back to that.
Yeah. Here's
when you said like fuck you to so many like job, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have a new identity now
Yeah.
that's like I'm better than that.
Yeah. That's the thing is like you forgot you're 6 months
you're
away
going-
from a hard job. You don't want to go back to that.
I'll tell you what I'm doing.
What?
Stealing Rolexes. Fuck it.
Under
That-
1,000.
That looks like it's going well.
Yeah. What Rolex is under 1,000?
I don't know.
Oh, that's the threshold?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying the robbery market.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel I'm kind of joking, but I'm not, in the sense of, I feel like when you're that, if you get like distorted on sort of what your time is worth or whatever, and then all of a sudden that gets taken from you, and it's easier to go do something illegal than it is to go backwards in life.
Yeah.
In your head. And that to me feels like there could really be like some real.
Well, I think
So we should see a crime spike in September.
Yeah.
I also think
I'm long on crime for the fall.
Long on crime and COVID.
yeah.
Delta
Double
and
C.
crime.
I also think people are very comfortable with socialism.
Yeah. Oh, it's already here.
Yeah, we're here.
It's literally you tested socialism for a year and then you're pulling it.
Yes.
That's what's crazy. You literally tested Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
But you didn't say this is what we're doing. You didn't
Yeah.
say it was a test. You didn't say the terms. and then it's being pulled.
I think the only way to get people off all the benefits is because Americans are so anti-socialism and communism and stuff. And it's like, oh, you take the benefits, you're a socialist.
I wouldn't be so sure.
What's going to happen with the back rent? How many people in LA didn't pay rent?
What's his name?
Gascon?
Gavin Newsom. He's taking care of that.
You want to survive that recall?
Newsom bucks.
Yeah. Wipe it.
September 14th.
He's writing a check.
That's when it is?
Yeah.
But there's no good competitor.
I haven't heard a candidate that's competing.
We're 60 days away. They haven't one candidate.
It's him or Caitlyn Jenner. That's your choice.
So he just needs to write another couple billion in checks to citizens.
He's really just got to shut up.
Yeah.
Just stay still.
Home.
Don't do any more lockdowns.
So all these people complaining so much about Newsom and we can't have a viable candidate. So is that similar to the loudest voice didn't actually matter? No one gives a shit?
Most people love Gavin Newsom.
The problem is no one wants that job. Who wants that job?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially
you're going to lose.
Yes. Either way. And the point is, if you see what Gavin Newsom
had to go through.
Yeah. Whether you agree with it or not, you see COVID's not over yet necessarily. No one knows what's happening.
Crime wave.
Who's going to want to step into that?
Crime's out of control.
Wave. You might have to re-lock down right after you take your post.
Yeah.
Everyone just...
The only person who's crazy enough to want that job is Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
She's like, I got this. Yeah. I know how to deal with a room full of crazy.
So Newsom's going to cruise.
Yeah.
I think he's cruising.
Yeah.
Unless someone just comes out of nowhere. I don't know who it would be, though.
Yeah. People just like to complain.
And do you know how hard it is to mobilize? Like, you have to get the teachers union on your side. You have to get all these unions on your side, the police union.
Yeah.
He's not enough time.
He's got the teachers union.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, he told him, don't show up to work.
Yeah. He's a hero.
Yeah, it's tough to win.
Yeah, and he's been handing out checks.
Don't show up to work, hand out checks.
Who's going to vote for someone else?
Yeah. I'm going to take away your unemployment and you're going back to work. Loser.
Yeah, vote for me. Shit's going to get real. You want to know who would win in a second?
Yeah.
David Geffen.
Yes.
This guy handed out the big bucks.
Yes.
What did he do? He handed out at Yale. He handed out like hundreds of millions of dollars and wiped tuition.
What's up, Garrett? Tell us the story.
Yeah, so he donated $150 million to the School of Drama at Yale. And in that way, apparently no current students in that school and for the future aren't going to have to pay any tuition.
Wow. I like when the rich help the most privileged. Let's keep that club sacred. Like, let's go to one of the best schools on planet Earth and go to the most privileged subject, which is drama, which is like, you have to be rich to enter drama, right? Drama at Yale. Yeah. You're rich as fuck, okay? Because you know it doesn't matter what you do when you graduate college. And David Geffen sweeps in and says, you know what? I know you're from a wealthy family and you get the privilege of doing drama. Yeah. I'm taking care of your tuition.
Let me take care of all your parents.
Yeah. Can you imagine the wealth of a Yale drama student?
No, I can't.
Yeah, because like
I can't. Because imagine if imagine what situation you would have to be in for Dom to say, "Dad, I want you to pay Yale tuition, but drama's my thing."
Yes,
you'd have to just have so much money.
That would cost you $1 million by the time Dom's 18.
Yes. So hopefully he may end up at Saturday Night Live 20 years.
Not even Saturday Night Live. Hopefully he's an extra on a fucking Peacock,
or like on Broadway, an extra on Broadway, right, or something. I don't know, or off of Broadway.
Yeah.
Like you have to expect no return on that investment. You're just fine with entertaining your kid.
Keep him happy.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's keep the elite. Enough of this. Why give it to Santa Monica College?
Maybe he's so rich that's his idea of what the poor is.
Yale drama. Damn, that guy's poor.
Maybe he's like, I'm really helping. Like everyone's talking about the forgotten ones. I know who they mean. Yeah. The Yale drama.
It is fascinating.
It's like, I literally, when he was telling us the story just now, I was like, of all the places, and he came from like a struggled background. He went to Santa Monica
College. He forgot a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when he thinks about who needs help out here, it's the Yale Drama Club.
Well, I mean, he did post that beautiful yacht picture sunset during the middle of COVID last summer when
You're not
the world was locked down.
Yeah, you don't remember the streets of Santa Monica after that boat. Okay. Well, either way, good, man. I mean, it's a billionaire giving some money to help others. So let's look at the positive. Next up, what's going on with Rachel Nichols? She got benched?
Yeah, what's up, Bonin? I don't really follow this story.
I know the story all too well.
So Rachel Nichols is an NBA reporter?
She's one of the lead NBA reporters for the ESPN. basketball NBA coverage.
And they benched her.
Yeah. So what happened was during the bubble, she was in her wherever they were, the hotel room, whatever, off camera, like they weren't recording for the purposes of ESPN.
Okay.
She left her camera on.
Okay. On her laptop?
I don't know the exact technicality, but
Okay.
whatever she was saying at the moment got sent back to ESPN servers.
Okay.
She called one of LeBron's guys, this guy Adam Mendelson, just venting how Maria Taylor, who's another rising star at ESPN, is like getting more of her gigs. Like she feels like she's getting sidelined.
Got it.
Maria Taylor is black. And the audio had been at ESPN and executives and senior people had seen it when it happened in July
Yeah.
last year.
So the audio was known at ESPN. The New York Times got the audio 3 days ago.
Rachel Nichols is white, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
And somehow it gets leaked to the New York Times. I don't know how long the New York Times has the audio. New York Times publishes the audio for everyone to hear.
Okay.
And what she says is ESPN's been so bad at diversity, and I know from a female's perspective, I feel it myself, but they're now doing it at the expense of me, advancing this black reporter, getting her better gigs than Rachel Nichols within ESPN. And she's talking to this guy Mendelson, who says on audio, it's getting a little too much between Me Too and Black Lives Matter. I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
And so this
LeBron's
audio
Is
leaks.
that guy a white guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's LeBron's like what?
he was doing all the more than a vote stuff, ironically.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay.
So interesting comments from the guy that was doing the more than a vote campaign during the bubble.
Yep.
This is like
So she got benched because of these. Like,
So it
was
leaked.
what she? Let me ask. I mean, tell me if you can even say or not. But like, is it messed up what she said? Like, or was it just sort of on the line, or could it be taken?
Okay, so two different things are going on. Maria Taylor, who's the person that's getting all these like hot gigs over her,
Yeah.
is in intense contract negotiations with ESPN.
Okay.
It leaked 2 weeks ago that she is rumored to get $5 million a year.
Okay.
wow.
And Bill Simmons on his pod said it's always funny when they leak contract negotiations. It's like, who's trying to get the leverage?
Yep.
Is it the talent or is it the network? He obviously has dealt with this himself when he was at ESPN.
Yep.
So that was like in the back of my head when this story came out. And then now the conspiracy theory is Maria Taylor's people leaked the audio to put the leverage in their hands to get more than the $5 million and get more money from ESPN because now she's the hero.
But you're gonna throw LeBron's guy under the bus in the meantime?
And Rachel Nichols, who's a star. Like everyone who follows the NBA knows who Rachel Nichols is.
But it sounds to me like LeBron's guy like got outed here.
Yeah.
And has nothing to gain.
yeah, he got screwed.
Yeah. He's not up for contract negotiation.
I mean, he's probably getting, I mean,
Yeah, I mean they gotta clip him.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
You mean
I mean, if he's in charge of that type of stuff, and that's the type of
and
stuff.
you're saying that? I mean, yeah. It's here's the thing.
Isn't there like laws against like?
so I'll give you the Clay Travis take
Okay.
because this was Christmas for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
It's too
sure.
good. It's too good.
There's so much here to choose.
Yeah.
from.
I have so much for him that I'd like to advise him
You
on.
could ghostwrite.
Yeah.
The Clay Travis take was like, Rachel Nichols, who's been pro social justice, running the NBA line, like Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. They love woke until it's at the expense of them as being the white person.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, as much as I hate him, I was like, interesting take, right?
Yeah.
Because you're either for the movement or you're not.
Yeah.
And you're all for advancement of black professionals, but when
Yeah.
it comes at the expense of you,
Yeah.
you get pissed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I
It's
think
not for TikTok, Garrett.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I also feel like, I do feel like the interesting thing here is like, and I'm not sharing any opinions on it. I'm just saying it's interesting that like, I bet as a woman, NBA reporter, she's been fighting for her own self
For so long.
Right.
But now you're in this situation where you're not the person that needs fought for. I don't know. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of a mind fuck, I bet, for her. Where she's like, I've been fighting just to be a woman talking about the NBA forever. And now, like, no one's worried about me, you know? Like,
I mean, I think if I'm her, I make the jump, I go to Barstool, and be a fucking hero.
She got sidelined from the finals, so she can't cover the finals. ESPN benched her.
Yeah. Go to Barstool.
And she would 100% be at the finals.
Well, that's the one thing I mean, once again, maybe I'm short-sighted here or missing something completely, but like, I don't understand why every single one of these people don't have some sort of social media like side plan.
Yeah.
Even if it's like maybe...
I don't think they're allowed to.
I know, but maybe like even if ESPN maybe excludes you from like having a podcast or something like that, but like if you're...
Build up your personal TikTok.
Yeah, or just build up your own, like talk to the camera. You know, like all of what Dave Portnoy has done has been very like non-official. It's all been talking to camera and like whatever. I mean, maybe they would stop you from it and I'm wrong and it's not that easy. But it just feels to me like if you're a really well-known, really good reporter and you're actually good at your job, the power's in your hands these days.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there are a lot of reporters who have done that. Probably you see it more in technology because they're maybe a little bit more savvy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these reporters do have an enormous amount of leverage, which they're able to go to platforms like Substack or YouTube and find careers. But in sports, it's all about your TV rights, right? And that helps you make your platform.
Yeah.
Because ESPN has Monday Night Football, they have the NBA Finals, they have everything. So, you know, if you can't be at those events to cover it, you're kind of shit out of luck. And I think ESPN is a bit of a disaster, right? Like they keep shooting themselves in their own foot. They're trying to be progressive, but like clearly there's a lot of dysfunction internally. And, you know, this is just like where does Rachel Nichols go from here? Like think about the heat internally at ESPN.
Yep.
You know, like I think she goes full MAGA, go to Barstool.
Yeah, I'd have to really look at it more to like understand what my opinion is, but...
Or she just has to be silent for the next 6 months, come back for the beginning of the season.
I also just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to like stick up for her, right? Because I don't know the story and I could be just totally wrong. But it feels to me like there's also this element of like, if someone is venting in what they think is in private, it's just, like she didn't act on anything. She didn't like post and say like, screw that woman. Like, I don't know. It's like if someone's frustrated about their job and like you're venting, I don't know. But once again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's an person. I don't know.
But here's the thing: is like when this is the fine line that when you try to be progressive and you go out and you're part of this company that's trying to be progressive, everyone has a gun to their head at all time, right? Because like everyone is fucking up all the time. No, we all fuck up all the time. That's what we do. We wake up, we fuck up.
Yeah.
And now, if depending on the company you work for or the industry you're in, you fuck up, your life's over.
Yeah, I almost think
that's not fair.
The comment that's more damning to me is I'm exhausted by Me Too and Black Lives Matter. That comment is the one that is probably inexcusable even in private. The comment of just being frustrated that a coworker is advancing in front of you.
That's common.
Are you kidding me? Like in investment banking, when like we saw someone get like top bucket, we're like, that guy's a moron.
Yeah.
Like, why is he getting the best bonus?
You want to know why? Propinquity.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
dick off.
Yeah.
Or like you play on a sports team and you're losing minutes. Even as kids, you're losing minutes. Oh, the coach's son, that little bitch gets to play before me. It's like the same thing.
That's just what I wonder. Once again, I want to be careful because I don't know the details and maybe we're wrong and maybe she sucks. But like there is this, like if she was like sort of unknowingly recorded, that's almost like if you were bugged, right? Like you're unknowingly recorded venting about the frustrations of work, whether they be totally understandable or not. And like, it gets leaked and you get, I don't know, it just sucks, man.
But also, ESPN's at fault. They've had this recording.
Yeah.
So now they choose, because the New York Times leaked it to the public?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
It's the mouse.
Yeah, you can't go against the mouse, ultimately.
But the mouse knew.
But the mouse.
The
is
mouse has big
untouchable.
ears. He hears everything.
He hears everything.
He hears no, but one guy knows everything.
When does the mouse process what he heard?
No,
because he heard it a while ago.
Sometimes
the
those
trick
flaps
is
come down.
Yeah, you don't question the mouse. That's the trick.
Yeah.
You know how how
um,
Xi is in China? That's the mouse over here.
Yeah.
I
You
wonder
know?
if you get sidelined if Mickey Mouse comes to Rachel Nichols on Zoom. Hey, Rachel.
Hey Rachel, just want to have a chat.
I mean, I
Heard what you said.
Yes. No NBA Finals for you.
Listen, how's the bench taste?
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, there we go. Nothing better than being ended on just a good old fashioned puzzling.
Potentially canceling.
Hey, we'll see how it plays out. I'm guessing we'll get more information, and maybe we'll end up being right. Maybe we'll end up being wrong. What about social media? You seen anything on there that we haven't talked about that we need to talk about?
No, but I did start watching an interesting movie.
Oh boy.
It took me a week to watch it.
Okay.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh. Well, why did it take you a week? Because it sucked? It's an hour and a half?
Nah, it's like 2 hours. I watched like 50, I was up at 9. It's like I got 20 minutes.
That can't be good. Any movie that you can
Dude, it's
turn
incredible.
off in 10-minute segments.
Garrett, have you seen it?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
should watch it. It's very inspiring.
Okay.
Very
I like to be
inspiring.
inspired.
Here's the thing which I always viewed Ford as this like, I don't know, just a great American company. That was my perception of it.
Got it.
I don't know anything about the history of Ford, except whatever, Henry Ford,
Yep.
the assembly line, all that stuff. The way they treated this driver in the movie, who's like the actual driver, when Ford, it's an incredible story of how Ford got into
F1 or
F1.
whatever.
Is it F1? Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yeah.
To enter like Le Mans race
Yeah.
against Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's because Lee Iacocca, who was the marketing executive at the time, said, we need to make Ford a sexy brand. Like, let's enter racing.
Yeah.
And Carroll Shelby, which, the famous car is named after, is the kind of the team leader, gets his buddy who's a driver. The guy, like, pretty much is asked to tank the big race.
Uh-huh.
And they just screw him for no reason. And he ends up dying in a car crash, all that shit anyways.
Did you just spoil the movie or no?
Yes.
Okay, guys.
But I'm sure it's been years. If you haven't seen it.
yeah, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Got it.
Chris.
Sounds
but
good.
it's just an incredible movie. And it's amazing what they did. And they ultimately beat Ferrari, which was like the best team in the world.
Yeah.
And then Ford kind of fucked this guy, which sucks, which has such a bad... I had like, after I watched that movie, I was like, you know what? Fuck Ford.
Now they're
Never
built
buying
for
a
tough.
Ford now.
Now they're not sexy. They're tough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I couldn't believe like this guy brought your brand to another level and you screwed him.
Corporate monsters, man. That's why it's so hard to hire.
Yeah, I mean, I see why when you see something like that, I understand why like the average worker's pissed because they will fuck you any chance they get. I was heartbroken when I saw what they did.
Heartbroken.
Really?
Heartbroken.
On day 14 when you finally finished. Oh my God.
Day 14, I was heartbroken.
Yeah. You were like, wait, who's that guy again?
Is that Christian Bale?
Yeah. Okay. What about you? Seen on social? You got anything?
The only thing I see right now is apparently the Pentagon was giving a contract to Microsoft that was worth $10 billion.
Saw that.
And now they're giving it to both Microsoft and Amazon. So lobbyists are at work.
So they did. I thought they canceled it altogether.
They canceled the $10 billion contract that
Give
was
5
given
each.
under Trump because Trump hates Bezos. And then now they're giving it to both of them.
They
And
both get a bag.
They both get it back.
Split the bag.
And that's all margin in those contracts.
90% margin. It's $9 billion.
Here's a
Give it to
bag.
Yale.
Here's a bag.
Yeah, I say
Give
give
it
it
to
to
Yale.
Yale. Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
drama.
Go to
Winner of the week.
the track and field department. Okay, yeah, that is the winner of the week. Mine is quick and easy. July 4th, a lot of people put out content, flags, all sorts of stuff. Look at us, we love America. I would say the standout video for me was, I don't know what's going on or why he's on such a run. Zucks.
Video of the year.
What is he doing?
I love it. Take me home. Take me home.
This guy's in like wherever the hell he is,
By Hawaii.
on like a foil board or whatever you call it.
Those
like
electric surfboards.
Yeah.
Are those hard? You're an athletic guy.
I was supposed to go out on one. They look really fucking hard.
But I refuse to believe that if Zucks can do it, it's
Can
hard.
I tell
No,
you?
but you're a skateboarder, so you obviously you could do it.
It has to be easy.
No, I don't think so. I think this guy has been working on this for 1 year.
Maybe
year.
5
Even a
years.
year. Any athletics that Zucks can pick up in a year, I feel like has to be easy.
Okay, so my
5
friend
years?
has one of those.
Okay.
We should go try it and see how hard it is.
I think it's
But
easy.
holding the flag, listening to John Denver, he's a damn hero.
You know what'd be an incredible video for group chat is if we all took a big American flag and saw who could recreate the Zuckerberg video first.
Well, you'd win. You're a skateboarder.
True. Okay, you two. I'll coach. It's between you two. But I mean, this guy, what do you think? Let me just ask you though. Do you think he just doesn't give a fuck? Like throwing the axes, riding the board with the flag. Like, do you think he's just trying to be more relatable? Do you think he just doesn't care?
He's losing it. Everyone's losing it.
I like that theory.
I think he is losing it, but I also think it didn't play well to maybe the people in this room. It played well to a lot of people. I went and looked at the comments. It worked.
Because he looks cool, he looks relatable and
No,
cool.
just like America, playing John Denver, the beautiful sunset, ocean. He's just,
So the QAnon Facebook users.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, his predecessors just got divorced and have new girlfriends, Gates and Bezos.
Yep.
He's probably not there yet.
yeah.
So he's like, let's
Yeah, he's too
explore
young.
athletically.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You post one video, you post another in back-to-back A/B test. In one video, it's an American flag. This goes on Facebook only. One video, American flag. Other video, Q flag.
Yeah.
Which one gets more likes?
The Q.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On Facebook.
100 million.
Okay. You should have thought about that. Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, he's just, man, I mean, good for him, I guess, but it just feels
Everyone's
like, what
destroying
hell?
the video, like all big city newspapers, cringeworthy, Mark Zuckerberg post, all this. Then you go read the comments.
People love it.
America love it. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's the elites that are dissing him. I'm sure everyone's snickering at all the cool July 4th parties about Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I think that shit worked.
I think Mark Zuckerberg just annoys me.
Doesn't seem like he has friends.
I mean, obviously no one's surfing with him.
Yeah, it's just literally a boat of security and lifeguards and Navy SEAls in case he falls. And then take me home. Look at me, I'm relatable. Okay.
Doing
all
a
right.
pretty unrelatable thing because that surfboard is very expensive.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that background didn't look cheap. Whatever lake that was.
He has an island.
Was it Hawaii, you think?
Yeah,
I
he
think
has an
it's
island in
Kauai. Isn't he?
He owns like an
Hawaii.
actual island
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Okay, well,
Very relatable. Take me home.
God bless him. Maybe he's just trying to, maybe that was a thank you for the, you just got off on the antitrust thing.
Yeah.
It was just like, I see you.
America. I
Yeah,
see you.
thank you, America.
This is
Yeah.
my home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we got. Do we have any shout outs? Do we have any run club? I mean, I guess you did the thing. What do we got?
Tim, do we have any shout outs?
But I've got.
Did I text you any?
Cash.
Okay. We don't.
Okay, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.